Hey everybody, Richie here from Reckless Pixel and LensWizard.com. I never seen anything like it. Like this huge dinosaur came from out of nowhere and just stepped on my drone, crushed it to like a bazillion pieces. And to make matters worse, my insurance agent didn't buy the story. But they seen the drone was crushed in a bazillion pieces, and because I had a policy to cover it for any kind of damage, well, I got a brand new drone. So, well, okay, so none of that ever happened, right? We know dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. There were no drones back then. Anyway, what I want to talk about is insurance coverage for your drone. So let me just start off by saying I have a DJI Mavic Pro. I bought it last year, May of 2017. And, you know, you can laugh at the orange color if you want. It's kind of stupid looking. I put it on there just, so I could find it if I lost it, because I might do that. Anyway, I was going to be a new drone owner, and I kind of wanted to educate myself. I had never owned a drone before, never flown a drone. I had flown like RC planes back in the day a little bit, but I have to say, first off, right out of the box, this thing was the easiest thing to fly. I mean, it was just so easy and so much fun just to fly it. But I didn't know that before I got it. So I was worried, like, what if I take it out of the box and I smash it into the neighbor's house and break their window? Am I covered for that? What kind of insurance do I need? And what if I damage the drone? I paid $1,200 for the DJI Mavic Pro bundle, and it was $1,200 of my hard-earned money. And what if it flies away? What if I smash it into something? What if I step on it? I mean, we've all had stuff. Everybody has had something sometime in their life that they either misused on purpose and destroyed it, and you're out your money, or just accidents happen. I mean, accidents can happen. So anyway, let's talk about if you damage something. So if you damage something, now, according to my insurance agent, I'm not an insurance guru. I know about as much about insurance as you do. And that the two things that like 99% of the people know about insurance is, number one, insurance costs money. And number two, 99% of the time you need it. So that's about the only thing I knew about insurance. So I found out that State Farm, now I'm in the state of New Jersey here in the USA, State Farm in a lot of states, but not all, offers a personal articles insurance. Now, some agents don't even know that exists, and so when you call, if you pursue this, and you call an agent or visit one, and they say that they don't have that, they might not know about it, okay, or your state doesn't offer it. Either way, New Jersey offers it, and for $54 a year, I was covered for anything. So my insurance agent tells me that if I fly and damage my neighbor's window or any type of property, it's covered under my homeowners, or if you have renter's insurance. And if you have it set up properly, you're covered for that. Now, that's what my agent is telling me. You might want to check with your agent to make sure that that's correct for your state and your policy. But for me, I'm covered under my homeowner's policy. I'm good on that. But what about the drone? Like, what if I take it and I just fly it into a tree or I step on it? So the personal articles policy covers that. Now, I know what DJI Refresh is, and I understand what that is, but I didn't feel that DJI Refresh could cover me for all these other things. Just things like unexpected stuff, like I just step on the thing. And I don't know, I read through the DJI thing. I read through it a couple of times, actually. And I just felt that in the context that I'm talking about, this personal articles policy, was a good thing for me. Now, you can get the personal articles policy and you can get DJI Refresh. I had my personal articles policy set up, actually had it set up the day before the drone arrived. And all I had to do was, when it arrived, I had to just send them the serial number. Actually, I faxed it over, serial number and the receipt, everything like that. And it actually covers the whole bundle. I had everything for $54. Everything that was on the bundle was covered. That included the batteries, the little cables, everything. So technically, the controller is covered, the drone is covered. But now here's the thing: you can't be using it commercially. This is a personal articles policy, and you can't. In other words, you can't be using it commercially, making money with it. You cannot be covering weddings. You cannot be doing real estate photography or mapping. Any of that kind of stuff where you're going to be making money from it. This is just for personal use. Now, this is also good to know, like if you got cameras and you're a hobbyist and you have cameras and you want to cover them, a lot of people think that that stuff is covered under their homeowner's policy. And homeowner's policy usually do not cover electronics. I actually knew that before I ever owned a drone because I've had cameras for many years. So like all my commercial stuff is covered under a commercial policy. To cover yourself under a commercial policy with the drone, well, first off, you're not supposed to be making money in the state of New Jersey unless you are a certified or a licensed drone pilot. And then you would have a commercial policy for this. And that would be something totally separate than what I'm talking about today. But what I'm talking about is just a peace of mind to know that, first off, if you have homeowners or renters insurance and you fly the thing up and you like whack your nephew's ear off or something, well, you're covered under that. But then if you fly it and you whack a tree with it, or it just flies away, or you flew it into a ditch or a lake or something like that, if you have the personal articles policy, you're covered under that. And I don't know. For myself, I felt that was a good thing. I seen there were a couple other things since I've owned the drone that I've seen where a personal articles policy would have been good for other people other than me. Some of the message boards on the internet. Now, first, let me state message boards. I don't hold a whole lot of faith in the message boards. With that said, there are some wonderful people out there that have some wonderful knowledge on specific topics, whether it's the technical part of a drone, whether it's the legal aspect of a drone. There are some good posts out there, but there is a lot of just a plethora of crap that takes place on these message boards. And the reason that is you don't know who is posting stuff. You can have somebody who is that really knows drones inside and out, builds them themselves, has been building them long before drones ever hit the market. And they put their information up and it's very helpful. And then there's like some schmo out there that is going to tell you all the inner workings of the drone, and he's just a schmo. He doesn't know anything. He just knows, he goes and he reads a bunch of blog sites and watches a bunch of stuff on YouTube, and he puts maybe like 3 hours a month on his drone. But you don't know that kind of stuff. So you got to be very careful taking information from message boards. But either way, I have seen some stories on the message boards that I kind of really felt bad. I seen one where a guy was on vacation with his drone, and he was kind of, he was flying it in an okay spot. And when he landed it, somebody came along and just grabbed it and stepped on it and crushed it. And he's on vacation. He's in an area, a municipality that is foreign to him. So in order for any recourse, he's got to go to a police department, file a police report. And the reason the person did this to him was they thought they were being spied on. And he claims that he wasn't spying on anybody. So if his story is true and somebody just come up and crushed his drone, well, I know you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. You would just like to give that person a good old-fashioned Bedford-Stuyvesant curb job, just put their head down there and whack them in the back of the head against the curb. But that isn't going to happen. Then you're going to get yourself in trouble, and you got to let that kind of stuff go. But if you had a personal articles policy and somebody did that, like if he had a personal articles policy, I would think for the most part, somebody come along, damaged the drone, and it's destroyed, and he can, it's covered. He can just go back and get another drone. So that was, and I actually seen that scenario on the message board in a couple different ways. One was a guy was flying it where he wasn't supposed to be flying it, and somebody came up and did that to him, and he didn't want to go to the police because He was in, a place where he wasn't supposed to be flying it, so he thought. Still, I would think it would be covered. You could just go back and tell your insurance agent, listen, the thing was destroyed. But either way, whether you're flying it where you shouldn't be flying it where you're not supposed to be flying it. I don't advocate flying, where you're not supposed to be flying, but I don't to have somebody come up and do that to you. That's wrong. It's flat out wrong. But here again, going nothing against the police, but to the police, that's just more paperwork, and they're not going to take it that seriously for the most part, especially when you're a tourist and you're in another state, another area. So anyway, I'm going to draw this video to an end, but I just wanted to put this on my channel, put it out there. I've had some friends come up to me personally and contact me, say, I see, your videos that you put on social media and stuff like that, and I'm thinking about getting a drone. And the first thing I tell them is, check into your insurances and make sure you're covered in that way. Be responsible, fly responsible, and cover yourself. You're covered on your homeowner's policy. Everybody has homeowners or renters insurance, or they should. If you can afford that, you have it, and it covers you for many things. But are you going to cover yourself for your hard-earned money? That's the biggest thing that I wanted to get out of it. I mean, I want to be covered if I damage somebody else's property, but I want to be covered if I, just drop this thing on the ground right now and smash it. So, okay, everybody. Hey, listen, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm harmless. You can come back again, check this channel out. I'll put up more. I like to put up information that I don't normally see out there for this thing. So I haven't really seen anybody do, at least here in New Jersey, do anything about insurance, and I just thought I'd put this up. And it also gives a place for when I'm talking to somebody in person, I can say, hey, go check out my video, rather than running through the whole rhetoric while you're right there on the spot. So listen, safe flying, responsible flying, these things are awesome. I'm looking forward to getting the Mavic Pro 2. And, and for anybody out there that has the Mavic Air, that just got a Mavic Air, this covers the Mavic Air too. You get a personal articles policy, $54 a year. I mean, that's really, it's not pennies, but it's pretty cheap compared to what you're laying out and what could happen that could just wipe it out in the blink of an eye. Hit like, hit subscribe, come back and visit me again. Take it easy, everybody. I love this little guy. He's awesome. He's like my new best friend,